Hello everyone. I would like to talk about larger display, the current trend, also the future, the trends. So actually the larger display, it means that all display above 9-inch diagonal screen size. Larger display, it takes around 92% of total display shipment area in these days. And it is expected that it will increase up to 93% in 2026. Actually, the larger display players, the area shipment is very important because they plan the productions, fabrication capacities, and supply demand forecast based on the larger display shipment area. Anyway, larger display, the area shipment is forecast to increase by 6% year over year in 2025, and size migration helps a lot of it. And actually, we can see the 85-inch TV display shipments, I mean the 85-inch and above, is forecast to increase by 80%, the CAGR from 2023 to 2030. However, it is also true there are concerns on larger display supply chain landscape because Chinese panel makers, they take huge market share, around 60% for the larger display unit shipment in 2024. As a result, other region panel makers like Korea, Taiwan, and also China, they are decreased the focus the larger display, particularly for the LCD business. As a result, there are many PC brands also and TV brands that are suffering from the strong Chinese panel makers' bargain power. So I would like to get opinion from the Deborah about the supply chain players, their strategy for against this strong Chinese panel makers' bargain power.
Yeah, this is a difficult question for the supply chain players because the supply chain dynamic never ends. In the supply chain participants, including the display component makers, panel makers, EM makers, branding makers, and also retailers. So in this very difficult situation. This supply chain participant, they are facing two tensions. One tension is within the industrial display. As Wise, you mentioned, there's a manipulate issue in the supply chain, in the display industry, especially talking about the TV and the monitor supply. 70 to 80% is dominated by the Chinese makers. So the tension is about the buy side and sell side when they are talking about the supply chain, the pricing. So panel maker adopted the production to order to control the supply, while the TV makers, monitor makers, they have pressure to cut the prices and need the panel maker to get the price concession. So the tension will continue, we believe. And the other tension is about the everybody knew the tariff, unpredictable tariff issue. The tension will continue. So there's a joke in the supply chain that is doing nothing, is doing everything. This is just the situation we've been seeing so far. So for the supply chain participant, how to react on all these unfavorable external environments, I think how to create a win-win strategy is so important because the market is mature and the how to improve and increase the revenue and profits is an important task for the supply chain participants. So for the supply chain participants, now the U.S. market is with big uncertainty. How to shift the focus to the other region, like the European market and the other emerging market, to create some replacement demand is important. And also for panel maker, they will necessarily to give some strategic support to their TV makers or IT makers to survive in the tough market, I mean the US market. The last thing I would like to consult with Wise is about how do you see the future of our display industry?
Thank you, Deborah. So actually, I believe the new technology like OLED is the future, the key for the larger display, the shipment growth, and the investment growth together. So actually, I can see the many OLED display for IT applications, for tablet PCs, notebook, and monitor will be growing faster. And our latest forecast indicates that large area IT OLED area shipment will grow around 38% CAGR from 2023 to 2030. Actually, we can see the booming for the AI and gaming PC demands. So those kind of high-end products also require high-end displays, which can provide the faster response timing, high resolutions, and vivid color, the variable refresh rate. And OLED is perfect display for this kind of the requirement. Therefore, many global PC brands and and Apple, Dell, HP, Lenovo, those kind of big brands are now preparing and seeking for the new OLED display for their the devices these days. So as a result, now currently the Korean makers, they lead the market. For example, South Korean makers took more than 80% of large area OLED shipment in 2024. However, we can see many Chinese makers also trying to enter this market with new investment, particularly for the Gen 8.6 RGB OLED fabrications in China. So this kind of competition between South Korea and China, I believe it helps the larger IT OLED, the strong growth, and I believe it helps larger display future is brighter and evergreen. Thank you.